Hello, I'm Sandra Viktorova. Thank you for joining us. As Floridians begin their preparations for hurricane season, some meteorologists are concerned that cuts to federal agencies mean scientists have fewer tools to track bad weather. We'll talk to a leading meteorologist from the University of Florida about what the cutbacks could mean. But first, we look at how one barrier island community is still recovering from last year's storms while preparing for the potential impact of another hurricane season. WGCU's Mike Walcher reports.
Several hurricanes in less than 3 years reveal the spirit of Pine Islanders. There's the tough guy.
I'm not really afraid of anything, you know.
The woman who worries water is winning the coastal conflict with humans.
People are tired. I'm tired.
The man whose house flooded 2 times in 2 weeks.
I was just frustrated with seeing furniture and stuff being destroyed.
And Pine Islanders learned to follow an old saying: in disaster, look for the helpers.
The GPI has gotten really good at responding to natural disasters.
That's the Greater Pine Island Alliance, formed after Ian. Since then, it's dried out and rebuilt homes for 200 families. And the group still is helping another 102 families make their flooded homes livable.
For every single one of our survivors, it goes beyond just being happy and proud. It is absolute elation to have someone return to a safe, secure, and sanitary environment.
People are raising homes, refusing to surrender the island to the wrath of nature. They're building bigger and higher on the waterfront. Others have moved away, leaving many properties for sale. 65-year-old Henry Brinkman bought and moved into this mobile home in St. James City. That's at the south end of the island. That was spring 2022. He says earthquakes and fires drove him out of California. He admits he knew nothing about hurricanes on September 28th of 2022.
I said, what are they worried about? Then I get a call from California from my friend. He said, you need to get out. And then I said, what are you talking about? He said, there's something major coming to you.
That something was Ian. It flooded his home. He plowed his truck through high water and barely managed to get off island and to a shelter. Later, he dried out and repaired his home.
I'm a very strong person. I can tell you that to knock me out, it needs really something serious.
Then last year, Debbie, Helene, and Milton brought more floodwaters. Each time, Brinkman repaired his place. He says he stopped on the Matlacha Bridge during one evacuation last fall. A friend called and urged him to drive off the bridge and come to a concrete block home. Brinkman drove away, and a tornado touched down minutes later right where he'd been on the bridge. You might think damage and danger would convince him to move off island. Not so.
If something happened to you, it's going to happen no matter what. So that's how I see the world going around.
At the north end of the island in Mokelia, Robert and Ellen Ballard are grateful that volunteers, along with FEMA and an insurance company, fixed up their home. Helene and then Milton flooded the place last fall.
It was a shock. It was a shock to say this house was built in 1968 and all these years it's never flooded. I don't break down. It don't bring me to tears. It's part of living on the island.
Robert Ballard's family goes back several generations on Pine Island, but he and Ellen agree they will move away if another storm floods the house.
I will never do this again. It's too expensive. It's too stressful.
It'll be it. Yeah, we won't hear. Somebody will get this house.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Yes.
Meantime, the Alliance gets donated goods to prepare for this hurricane season. These people say restoring the houses and spirits of their neighbors keeps them here.
This is home. This is where my son was born. My father lives down the street from me. My grandmother lived here. This is an island community of generational families, and this is home.
Pine Islanders say their paradise may not have the panache of Sanibel or the sand of Fort Myers Beach, but it's one of the last places of old Florida, and Islanders cherish that in spite of hurricanes. For WGCU News, I'm Mike Walcher.
Some storm experts are expressing concern, and not just about the predictions for a busy hurricane season. The scientists are preoccupied about the large cuts to the federal agencies that forecast and respond to hurricanes. According to the Associated Press, the Trump administration has made large-scale staff reductions, travel and training restrictions, and grant cutoffs to both FEMA, which prepares for and responds to hurricanes, and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, which tracks and forecasts storms. Representatives of both NOAA and FEMA say the agencies are prepared. After public backlash, the National Weather Service recently announced it is starting the process of hiring more than 100 employees to, quote, stabilize operations at its field offices around the country.